Frankly, if you're only doing that now in a world that's dominated by AI, if you're only doing that every 3 months, you're behind and your competition is going to lap you. Like, so you have to have this always on view of not just deals in the quarter, but every assumption that you've got baked into your go to market motion.
There's obviously multiple ways to do this exercise, right? A lot of that is driven by the habits, but a lot of that is also driven by the specifics of the product that the company is selling that is trying to do the planning around that, right? So you always there's a little bit different go to market and specifics. How do you capture that in your tool? Do you have ability to predefine the type of assumptions that I want to take into consideration? Or I have to always go through this notion of, okay, you need to have a quota, you need to have a number of reps, and then you need to set up the ratios between the headcounts, right? And so on, so on. So it's more like a capacity plan. And then eventually you compare this to the financial target, or you starting with the product and you're trying to make assumptions around that because there's upcoming major change on that front. And that can swing substantially how you're going to sell this, right? I've seen all these scenarios. So I'm trying to see where there's a boilerplate for all these assumptions that you can set up and then run with it because that is something that I think it's solving a lot of these initial conversations.
Yeah. And I think what you're pointing at and what we see in our sales cycles is while we purposely built something from the outset for revenue, finance leaders have a lot of interest in what we're doing. Now, finance leaders tend to have this view, I think that you were articulating there, of kind of the widgets view. How many
Mhm.
widgets over how much time at what price? And I get to a plan, right? Whereas revenue leaders think about how many people do I need to sell, how many widgets, and like at what consistent performance level can I expect that to happen? Today, we're primarily focused on the revenue side. But what I will say is that we're increasingly pushing upstream from the sales pipeline itself, right? So while we're looking at the sales pipeline and aligning capacity to that pipeline, sales capacity,
Mhm.
what we started introducing into our platform is, well, tell us more about how you expect that pipeline to convert over time. And tell us more about how you expect that stage to stage conversion to occur in the pipeline.